First of all, I guess the best way to start this, because we do have a few people who are like at the beginning of their agency journey, is well, what is an inbound system? Obviously, we know that to sign clients, we can do outreach, right? Cold calling, email marketing, LinkedIn, DM setting, like Leon said. But also, the other alternative to this is an inbound system. An inbound system, more specifically, through running Facebook ads for yourself. So, exactly what you would be doing for your client, you're going to be doing it for yourself. Now, there's obviously pros and cons to both outreach and also inbound. Pros, we'll quickly go through them. With outbound, with cold calling especially, it's free, but it's very time consuming and success rate is probably slim. Inbound, it costs, so that's a con, but every sales call you have is someone who's super fucking interested in your service as long as you're doing it right, because they have came to you, they have a pain point, they have chose to work with you. When you book meetings in through outbound, these guys are just coming up to the meeting. It's not necessarily like they have a pain point specifically for your solution. Whereas with inbound, because you're basically putting a message out there and they're coming to you, they have a problem that they want you to solve. So there's the pros and cons. Does anyone have any questions on that? Cool. Now, just out of curiosity, before we do get started, how many people are actually running an inbound system as we speak right now? Sonny, Lewis, accounts, Alan, Juan. Good, good. Okay, five people probably, and that's. I know Sonny's killing it with his. Lewis, how are you? Are you saying yours is profitable right now or not?
Yeah. It's definitely going a lot better in the recent weeks, so it's a slow start,
Good,
but getting there
good.
now. Yeah.
Juan,
Yeah, it's going pretty well.
beautiful. That's where it's in. Okay, cool. I can't remember who the other hands were, but anyway, we move on. Right. So I will share my screen. Oh, I've done it again. So I didn't want to put too much together for it, but I do think with an inbound system, it's pretty visual for you guys to understand. Now, my first thing is, if you don't have a client or £500 to invest, do not do an inbound system because you are going to lose money with this at the beginning. Every single person does. It's part of the game. And if you don't have a client and you go straight to inbound, you're being lazy. Do your cold calling, get your client that way, put in the hard work because I promise you the skills you're going to learn from cold calling is going to help you so much more long term as a business owner and also as an agency owner. Right. Anyway, when it comes to running an inbound system, there's two different types of funnels that we run. An instant form funnel and a book a call funnel. What's the difference? Instant form funnel is we run an ad to an instant form like this. Let us audit your ad account for free. What's the nature of your business? As an example, there's then some automations through Go High Level that we all know about. Then there's a setting call, trying to book them onto a call, and then we have a one call close. Does anyone not understand that? Feel free and don't be scared. Put your hand up if you don't. Cool, fantastic. Then we've got the flip side, which is the book a call funnel, which I know for a fact no one on this call is doing. And I promise you, hopefully after this call, I'm going to change your mind because I'm going to show you something literally in about 5 minutes time that shows it really fucking works. So what's the difference? Well, you run an ad to a landing page, so to an actual website. And on that website, there's a specific structure where you get them to book in a call. They automatically book in a call. As you can see here, here's two examples. This one spent 3K over the last month, generated 12 grand. This one spent 1 grand, generated, I think, 6 grand. So two very profitable websites right here. And as you can see, it's a video with a booking your strategy call below. That's it. Very simple. And I promise you, it's so much easier than you guys think. So then once they book in, there's obviously some automations. There's then a setting call ahead of the call, etc. And I will break this down in a lot more detail. But what's the difference between the two funnels? Now, usually what people do when they start off with an inbound funnel is they run the ads to an instant form. So they do this funnel right here and they get shit leads. And they get shit leads. The cost per lead's pretty cheap, probably about 10 to 15 pounds. And yeah, they don't get too many shows. And when they do show, usually money is a big issue. Would anyone disagree with that experience who is running an instant form funnel? Maybe Sunny. Sunny, I'm guessing you're seeing a lot of success with his funnel. Am I right?
Well, the instant form one you're saying? Yes, I am. Yeah, but there's a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of shit leads as well.
Beautiful.
You know, well, that's been more recent, but I feel like it's just because when the ad saturates out a bit more, you just get more of the crap, if you know what I mean.
And we're going to cover that later. You actually made me think of something to add to my little Miro. But what I will say, what are the problems? And this is a good question for all of you guys running an instant form funnel at the moment. So you're running ads to a form. What are the main problems that you are seeing at the moment? Juan.
I was going to say, since my review, I've got my cost per lead down to about $12. So I've had quite a few more come in. But a lot of their phone numbers just are unresponsive. Like they just don't, I guess they don't pick up their phone or something. I don't know. That's one thing.
So pick up your phone. Matt Digby.
They're all broke. They've got no dough.
Okay, brokies. What else? Someone give me some other things. Ali, no shows. It's good to see you as well, bro. It's been a while. Accounts.
They can be heavy +92s.
Okay, +92s. I love that one. Lewis Ford.
I think authority and trust is a hard one. I feel like a lot of, because you don't have like VSL trying to sell yourself a bit more, it's hard for them to buy into you, I find.
I like that one, and I'll tell you why I like that one in a second. Do you know, and right, for those of you guys that aren't doing an inbound funnel, by the way, I am sure these are all issues you're facing with outbound as well. But what if I was to tell you there's a solution to all of this, guys? And I promise you there is, right? So it's literally the book called funnel. It's as easy as that, and I'm going to explain it to you. But before I explain it to you, I'm going to break down our client capital funnel. And the reason why I'm going to break this down is because I promise you, although me and Dan are technically B2C, you guys are all, I guess, consumers, right? Starting your agencies or whatnot. It is the exact same system that you would use to sign B2B clients. And I'm going to show it here. So this landing page on the right-hand side here, I generated these results in the last week from, I think, about maybe in the last 10 days from about £35 ad spend. These are all book calls, by the way. Book calls with 2 companies doing over $1 million annually, and 5 companies doing between $500 and $1 million annually. To put that into perspective, if you divide that by 12, minimum they are doing 40. I can't remember. I did do it earlier. Something like $42,000 a month minimum. Right. So that's number one. It's going to get rid of mass problem of the brokies, because what you can do. In fact, I'm going a little bit too far ahead. Let me get into it. Right. So this is the funnel breakdown. You run an ad to a landing page. On the landing page, you got a big headline, which is your offer, very clear and specific to your niche, right? So home renovation businesses, we will do this for you. Insurance brokers, we will do this for you. Solar installers, we will do this for you. Then you're going to have a video breaking down what you said in your headline in more detail. So you say solar installers, we will do this for you. A couple of case studies breaking down your system and how you can do it, etc., etc. Really warming them up. And obviously, I can't really break it down all in full detail today, because we'll be here for another half an hour. But all you need to do is look at the ads that are coming up in your feed and see how are they structuring their videos, right? Even look at us, how are we structuring our videos, because it's all roughly the same template. And then underneath that, they're going to be able to book in a call. Right. Lewis Ford said to me, one of his things is trust and authority. Although that is a hard one of the things that a landing page does is it builds more trust and authority as well. Because rather than them going on a form, they've got an opportunity there to find out a little bit more information about your business, from the testimonials, from the case studies, to also the video of seeing your face as well, building that trust up ahead of the call. And again, they are voluntarily booking in a call from your website. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to say it's going to completely destroy that objection, but it's definitely going to help with the trust and authority side of things. Cool. Now, one of the most important parts is qualification, right? And there's actually a little framework here. This is a very well-known framework in the industry. It's called BANT. Essentially, what you need to do, and to I guess simplify it, is when you have sales calls, you need to make sure that they have the money so they can actually afford your service. They decide to use your service, they need your service, and also from a time perspective, they can go ahead with it ASAP, right? If you're jumping on sales calls with people that don't have all 4 of these points, then it's pretty much a waste of time, because without all 4 of these points, they will then most likely not going to go ahead with your service. So it's important that we make sure every sales call has all 4 of these. Now, when you guys do an instant phone funnel, for example, or outreach, right? So cold calling or email marketing, whatever, you're most likely going to miss one of these. I'll give you an example, right? You cold call someone, you cold call a landscaping business, you have a good conversation with him. He's a one-man band, so he's got the authority. That's a tick there. He's looking for ads, he's looking for marketing. That's a tick there. And he would do it now. That's a tick there. But he makes £10,000 a month revenue, profits probably about £3,000. He's not wanting to spend £500 to £1,000 on an external service, so he doesn't have the budget. So he's not going to go ahead with it. So with an inbound system, but more specifically a book a call funnel, we can optimize for all 4 of these points here. And I'm going to show you how. Right. You are basically going to have an application. So before they book in a call, they have to apply to book in a call. The best one at the moment is something called Typeform. I think you can have it free. If not, it might, I can't remember how much it costs, but it's so good. And what it does is it asks people, well, you put in the questions you want to ask. So for example, are you willing to invest £1,000 into an external service? Are you, and that's obviously for the budget, authority? Are you the only decision maker? Let's say as an example, right? The need. How soon are you looking to get started with a marketing agency or a Facebook ads agency? Whatever. Then you can put 1 week, 1 month, or maybe 1 week, 1 month, 3 months down the line. And if they put 3 months, then you can boot them off the form. Now, what we can do is basically qualify these people. And if they don't fit the criteria that we want, so for example, they don't have, let's say from an annual revenue perspective, going back to this, let's say they make less than $500,000 a year, they get booted off the form. So they can book it. And what that means is you're then only getting sales calls with people that want to work with you. Any questions so far?
I have a question. I don't know if you covered this before I joined, because I joined a little bit late, but when they're switching to a book a call funnel, for example, right? What would you say has to be the biggest change on the ads? Because I know sometimes we've had to change like direct response, middle of funnel, that type of thing, because I feel like I have to change the ads.
That's a great question. Do you know what? I'm actually going to cover that at the end, so I will leave that for now.
I'll show.
Matt Digby.
Assuming with this, I think I know the answer. I'm just checking. Your ticket, like your actual closing price and your cost of service has to increase, otherwise you're not making profit from this.
Beautiful. We will get on that a little bit later on. Mattia.
Yeah, what a question. So you mentioned at the start, I think you said you need at least £500 to start on it. But what would you recommend like the daily ad spend to be, what just as you're starting at the beginning?
Right. So, do you know what? I shouldn't have said any questions, because all of this I'm going to cover in like the next 10, 15 minutes or so. So I'll leave that one as well, and I'll cover it in literally like 5, 10 minutes. But, right. So, if they don't get qualified, they can't book in a call. Now, not only is this good because it's not going to get you gas thinking you got a sales call in your diary, but the most important part is Conversions API. Now, what is Conversions API? I'm going to explain it in simple terms, and I'll break it down fully. So when you run ads, whether it's for yourself or for your clients, and this is for every single one of you on this call today, even if you don't have any clients, it's important to know this. When you run ads, basically one of the things that you can set up is a pixel, right? And what this meta pixel used to do is track data. So let's say, for example, I had a mug store on Google and I ran ads to buy cups, and whoever bought a cup, I can basically feed that information back to Facebook saying, John bought 5 cups, find more people like John, because John likes spending a lot of money on cups. Right. So then what happened, long story short, is Apple stopped giving this data back to Facebook. So Facebook no longer could understand as to whether John's buying 5 mugs or not. So it couldn't then find more Johns because that part has been stopped. The signal, well, I say the signal, the messaging back has been stopped. So what Facebook did is set up something called Conversions API, which, long story short, and without getting too complicated, connects to Go High Level. It connects to your pipeline, and it can also connect to Calendly. So let's say you had a Calendly link. Let's say someone booked in a call. It will then feed that information back to Facebook. John booked in a call. Find more Johns, right? Or let's say in your pipeline you had a deal closed pipeline, and someone closed for £2,000. Callum closed for £2,000. Find more Callums. Now, the beauty of this part here is basically because we're stopping people booking in under a specific requirement. So let's say $1,000 a year. Sorry. Well, if people can't book in who are making less than $500,000 a year, then that means Facebook is more likely to find more people who are doing over $500,000 a year in annual revenue, which means your ads are going to then optimize. You're going to get more and better quality calls, and also your cost per call is going to go down. So you're going to end up spending less to get even better sales calls. Matt Digby.
On the API thing,
Yeah.
right? Is that different to lookalike audience? Because in the lookalike audience, you have to have like 100 purchases, for example, before they can start tracking those individuals. Is that as soon as you've got the API in place, as soon as one event happens, will that start triggering back to Facebook?
Beautiful. Yeah. So lookalike audiences and Conversions API is different. The beauty of Conversions API is, let's say you only had one person booking a call, right? John books in a call. Even from that one person, Facebook will be able to find so many more people only from one person. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it.
No, that's funny.
Does anyone who's not running an inbound funnel have any questions? And does anyone feel a little bit lost?
No, I understood pretty much most of what you said. Let's say, so you mentioned about Apple stopping it and stuff. Once you got Go High Level connected, you can pretty much select which one of the leads you want to send feedback to Facebook about. So, like the leads that convert, it won't just be the entire list of leads that came through from that one campaign.
Sorry, bro. Are you really quiet? Did anyone hear that?
Not can you hear me?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're really quiet, bro.
Is it? Oh no, because it's like midnight over.
Can you type it? Is that all right? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll type it.
Thank you, man. Right. Anyway, right. So just to recap, ads to a landing page. People apply to book in a call. If they don't complete the form, one of the things we can do is capture their information, so their name, email address, and phone number. Cool. Then they get a setting call. Obviously, you guys should be doing this yourself. You should be calling every lead that comes into your funnel and trying to get them booked in. And again, are they qualified? Yes, fantastic. We're booking the call. No, then we have a nurturing sequence set up where essentially we have email marketing going out, giving more information, adding value about your business, etc. Cool. So now we're here, book call. So once people are booked in a call, we then have a nurturing sequence going out ahead of the call. So 24 hours before the call, they get an email. 6 hours before the call, they get an email. Maybe 2 hours before the call, they get an email. And all 3 or 4 of these emails are basically adding value. That's what we want to do, add value. And the way we add value is by giving them information, showing them your case studies, showing them the results that you previously got, showing them, introducing yourself and telling them a little bit about you, making them buy into you, or giving them some industry knowledge, whatever it is. But they need to be value added. They can't just be emails being like, just a reminder, your call is in 6 hours. They don't give a shit. You need to add value to the point that they want to turn up because they've read some of your emails. Even if they only read one email, they think, fuck, I actually want to hear more about this solution. I want to hear more about what they have to offer. And what this is going to do is it's going to transition people from joining your call as a I'm curious mindset to people joining your call being I want to work with you. That mindset. That's the beauty of it. Then when people are booked in a call, one of the things we're also going to do, as well as the email marketing, as well as the SMS messaging, we're also going to have a triage call, which is essentially a setting call, right? So if someone's booked in directly, one of the things you can do is have a triage call. Now, one of the things, I can't remember who it was that said about low pickup rates, whoever said that, right? In the US and Canada, pickup rates are low. So one of the common trends at the moment is rather than doing a setting call, you do a message. You send a WhatsApp message. And then what you can do in your WhatsApp message, for example, is like, oh, hey, John, just reaching out as we have a call scheduled for Thursday at 6 p.m. Can you please respond to this message with a thumbs up to confirm your attendance? And then once he responds with a thumbs up, you say, fantastic. Feel free to check out this, and this ahead of your call, right? And then maybe you can send him a YouTube video that you've done breaking it down. So that's one tip. If you are targeting Canada or the US, don't bother setting call. Don't bother setting them. Create what's called contact them on WhatsApp. Cool. And then one of the things again, which no one does here, which I highly recommend, is someone actually might, to be fair, have 1 or 2 YouTube videos which basically break down what is it that you do. And again, we're trying to sell ourselves in this video, right? Have case studies in there. Have some of like your results in there. And then you're going to send this to them on WhatsApp ahead of the call so they can watch it, again, lubricate them for the sales call. Then we have the sales call. All right. And this part, I know for a fact no one's doing this. And if you are, well fucking done, because I really believe no one's doing this. You have a sales call. Did they show? Yes. Fantastic. Did they close? Yes. We make cash. Did they show? No. No show sequence. Did they close? No. No close sequence. Put your hand up if you have a no-show sequence or a no-close sequence, and be honest. Sonny Scott, my guy, one person.
I've got a no-close one.
Yep.
In terms of the no-show one, I think I might have something in place for that, but I'm not too sure.
Okay. Well, have a look, bro, because I would say no-show is probably a bit more important than no-close.
Yeah.
But just before I answer Matt's question, from 19 people on this call, only one person has a no-close sequence, no-show sequence. So every single person here has homework to actually implement this. Now, if you don't know what it is, I'll briefly explain it now. No-show sequences, let's say I was meant to book a call with you today. I didn't fucking show up. And maybe 1 hour after I didn't show up, so you can make it as an automation on Go High Level. When you move me to the no-show column, it will then send a trigger to basically send me an email workflow where email 1's like, hey Zub, you didn't show up to your meeting today. Where were you, you piece of shit? ... Right, Matt Digby.
You just answered my question. Then I was going to ask how you get them into the new sequence. Do you just drag them on opportunities and then have it opportunity trigger?
Yeah, keep it easy. Move it, do it through your pipeline. As soon as you move someone into the no-show column on your pipeline, they then get an automation set off. And I recommend that to everyone. Any questions from anyone? The no-show sequence, no-close sequence. By the way, if you're new or if you have 0 clients and you feel like you can't speak or you don't want to speak, fuck that. Like, no one gives a shit. Even if you think it's the dumbest question in the world, just say it. Jake.
So, if you get like a no-show client, let's say, how many times would you ring them up until you give up? Would you say like 2 or 3 times? And how far would you spread it apart?
Never give up, bro, because at the end of the day, at one point they had interest, especially if it came from inbound. They had interest, right? So be belling them, double dialing, triple dialing twice a day until they fucking answer, as well as the emails going out, because eventually they'll block you, and that's probably your hint to stop. But if they don't block you, bro, there's still an opportunity there.
Cool.
Any other questions? I'll read my tag. So with the Pixel and Conversion API connected with GHL, you can select which leads you want the Pixel to give feedback to Facebook. Yeah, so with the pipeline on Go High Level, we can choose what information goes back. So for example, deals closed, right? And then we can put the opportunity value as well. So Facebook knows how much each individual closed for. And then we can also do the meet and booked column as well. Cool. Right. So that's that. Then, like I said, boys, going back to this, right? This is one of the funnels that I'm working on at the moment. I think one of the biggest limiting beliefs from people inside the group about charging more is they just don't get in front of businesses that are doing more, which is understandable, right? Like if you have like a list of 500 people to cold call, you don't know if one person's making $10,000 a month or one person's making $50,000 a month. So this is the beauty of a book a call funnel. We know how much money people are making. It's very rare that you're going to get someone bullshitting coming through the funnel, especially because you guys are targeting local businesses. You're targeting 40, 50-year-old men, and they're not going to waste their time bullshitting about something like this. So the beauty of this is you're getting the opportunity to speak to businesses that are, let's say, doing $50,000 a month. which means what? We can charge more. And I think Matt had a question earlier about how can we make this profitable when we only charge $500 a month or £500 a month? And you're right, you can't really. And one of my biggest, I guess, takeaways from this call for everyone here today is try and charge more. Like, there's no harm in it, especially if someone comes through a call funnel, because you have to think, not only have they clicked on the ad, they have most likely watched your videos, your VSL on your landing page, your website. They've watched the video, you breaking down your service. They then fucking applied to book a call with you, and then they've actually turned up to the call. That's 4 big commitments to actually being there on that call with you today. So that means they have a really big pain point for you to shake, basically, and get more money out of. Now, with this funnel, I was doing, and I'm still doing because it was literally this week, a $70 cost per call. And like I said, as I've already said, with companies doing over $500,000 annually. Cool. Now, the last thing I really wanted to touch on, and this is the part that Sonny actually made me think about. My biggest advice to all of you listening to this, whether it's for your clients or for yourself, is to have more creatives out. Do not ever rely on one creative, because and what creative is, for those of you that are new, is basically your ad, right? Whether it's a photo ad or whether it's a video ad, because they will die down. Every creative eventually dies down. And when that happens, and if you've only got one creative out and it dies down, you think, oh shit, I need to get something else out. And by the time you've got something else out that works, you've lost maybe 4 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever. That's a lot of opportunity there to make a lot of money. So we always need creatives going out. It's like a hamster wheel. You always need to be churning new videos out. New videos, new photos out. Cool. Now, there's 4 different templates that I'm going to give you guys in terms of what to do with a video ad script structure. A lot of people, I think, struggle to actually understand, well, what do I do with my video? So here's 4 that just definitely work. They're so fucking easy to do as well. And ad 1 is pain points. So literally say, are you a home improvement business doing over $500,000 a year and you have this problem? Cool. Well, if you have this problem, this is exactly what we do for you. CTA, so call to action. Click on the button below and book in a call with us. Ad 2, you do a big statement. Solar businesses, we will help you generate $100,000 in revenue over the next 90 days. This is exactly what we've done for John, Michelle, Obama, and how we can help you too. And this is exactly what we do for you as well. And we do it like this, and we break it down. And then a call to action. Ad 3 is pure direct response. Right. I think a lot of people, and me and Dan are guilty of this as well, when it comes to ads, they feel too scared to just pure pitch, like literally just pitch. And what they do is they try and go around there and say, oh, like, this is, here's 3 things as to why you should use Facebook, whatnot. And they do work. I'm not going to say they don't work. But what works extremely well is something called direct response. Does anyone know what direct response is?
Me.
Apart from that. Cool. So we're all learning a new word today. So direct response, and I recommend you searching it up after this because I'm probably not going to explain it the best, but it's literally getting straight to the point. That is the best way of explaining it. So what I mean by that is here, right? You call out your audience. So landscapers doing over £50,000 a month. We will help you generate £100,000 in the next 60 days doing this. And then you do step 1, we will do this. Step 2, we will do this. If this sounds like something you want to hear more about, then book in the call below. And basically what you're doing is you're getting straight to the point. You're just pitching on the ad and you're breaking it down. And then that's your direct response. Does anyone not get that? Cool. Beautiful. And that, by the way, I promise you, is the best structure out of all 4 of these. You'll see the most success with it. There is a business on Meta Ad Library that has 200 and I can't remember, but it's like something like 200 plus ads of the exact same ad, and the only thing they change is the hook. Literally the first 2 seconds of who they're calling out. Exact same thing. And the reason being, pure direct response just works the best. Then we've got ad 4, which is social proof led. So for example, meet John. John was a fucking florer who was doing £30,000 a month. 6 months later, he's worked with us and we generated him £4 million in revenue, etc., etc. Just pure, straight pitch in terms of a case study. People love social proof. Everyone's scared to invest in things. I'm sure most, if not all of you guys were scared to invest in Client Capital before you joined. And one of the biggest reasons you all joined Client Capital is because of our success stories, is because of our case studies. And it's the exact same with your prospects as well. Even though they're business owners, even though it's B2B, even though they're maybe 40, 50, 60 years old, every person is pretty much the same when it comes to this stuff. They want to see proof. Now, if you don't have case studies and if you don't have testimonials, do not worry. The only thing I would suggest is just do not do a book a call funnel now. Just stick to instant forms because there is no opportunity for you to, I guess, really show your case studies. Book a call funnel, you do need a couple of case studies to really see success with it. But if you don't have case studies, it's not a problem, I promise you. But yeah, so that is that. And does anyone have any questions? Matt, Digby.
You know how your case studies, when you click on your landing page or videos, like YouTube videos,
Yeah.
do they have to be in that format or can they be differently?
Nope. But we so that what's it called, that funnel, the template I showed you earlier, literally that the home renovation business who's targeting the companies doing over $500,000 in annual revenue. All we have is 3 screenshots with literally 3 people's faces with a quote they've said, and they are legit.
Yes.
But if they weren't legit, that's something you guys could do as well. It doesn't have to be videos. Mattia.
I've got a question. So, with, let's say, an instant format, right?
Yeah.
Can you use the conditional logic to still kick people off the form if they don't meet the requirements?
Yeah, no, definitely. You can use a conditional logic. I guess there's not too much more to say to that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And also, by the way, you can connect an instant form with conditional logic to Conversions API using your Go High Level pipeline as well. Juan.
This is a bit of an advanced question about the Conversions API. Without using Hyros, can you extract the Facebook Click ID from prospects? Because sending that back to your pixel is really useful, apparently.
From what? Your Click ID for what? People on your page?
Yeah, just forms that leads that engage, sorry, on your ad.
I think you're overcomplicating it, bro. Don't worry about that. I don't think.
Well, yeah, it's just the thing you can do. I didn't know.
Yeah. Any other questions? Beautiful. Well, in that case, yeah, if no one's got any other question, Matt.
Sorry, one last question.
Yes.
Just so I've got the structure down, because I've got to do my landing page for like these niche I'm testing. Header, hook calling out their pain point basically, or whatever's like linking back to the video, then VSL, then testimonials, and then book a call, or VSL book a call testimonials.
VSL book a call. We want the book a call to be pretty much when they first go on the page on the phone. We want it to be visual, because if it's not visual, the likelihood of them actually booking in a call decreases massively. I don't have a statistic for it, but I know it decreases massively. They need to actually be able to see it. I guess it's that whole thing of like trying to hold someone's hand, right? Like if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So that's the best way of putting it.
Sound.
Cool. Any other questions? Right, not a problem. Well, before we go, I am actually going to pitch. So me and Dan help people set up an inbound funnel, but book a call funnel. And I promise you, I will make you fucking profitable. So if you do want to hear more about it, I won't do it now. Just send me a message on Telegram. Obviously, it's paid. So if you aren't willing to invest, then don't bother messaging me. It's just a waste of time for yourself and it's a waste of time for us as well. But if you do want to hear more about it, send me a message and I will make you fucking profitable.